What is going on? We have Mr. Daniel Pronk joining us all the way from Alberta.
Yep, Canada.
Got it. Alberta, Canada. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How is the whole lockdown and everything treating you over there in the CA?
It's pretty good where I am currently, and I don't really notice it because I just work from home now. So I'm just home all the time now anyway.
Nice. Nah, thank you so much for jumping on my channel. It's a privilege to have you here, bro. Like, I want to let the viewers know that for real, if it wasn't for this guy right here, if it wasn't for Daniel Pronk, there will be no Emmanuel Finance. Because honestly, I've been considering doing YouTube for a while, finance channel for a while, but it was until I came across your why Warren Buffett sold Delta Airlines video.
The video that changed my channel, bro.
Was it really?
That was the video. Yep.
Up until that point, I'd seen quite a lot of stock channels, but no one went into as depth of detail as you did. I mean, that was the first time I saw someone bring out an Excel spreadsheet. I was like, wait, what the? Am I on YouTube or am I in class right now? Like,
I know.
Bro, class was in session with that video. So you're saying that was the one?
That was the one, man. I was, I think I was around 10,000 subscribers before that video. And I posted the video, didn't think anything of it. I was like, all right, got my video done. I'm going to go play some video games with the boys right now.
Yeah.
Like, just relax a little bit. Play video games for probably like an hour, go back, and the video had 150K views.
What?
I was like, what? And I gained like 3,000 subscribers in an hour.
In an hour?
Yeah, and it just took off, man. Like,
wow.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Wow. Now I must admit, I would have been one of those 3,000 because, bro, the level of detail I was, and obviously it was a crazy topic at the time as well.
Yeah.
Like Warren sold Delta. Like, what the heck?
And it was
I was on YouTube trying to find anything I could, and your video popped up first, and I watched it. I was like, nah, this guy's sick. This guy's going in. Going in. And by the end of the video, I was like, I need more.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Then immediately I added you on Instagram. I reached out. I was like, bro, like that video, man. And then you've been consistent since then, like with your content, and like I've learned so much. And also, guys, Daniel does have a course as well, which is sick course, very in depth. And the thing is, you're not one of those ones where it's just PowerPoints. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I've been through your course. It's very detailed, very show me. You walk us through. So I'll definitely recommend anyone who wants to learn about investing, definitely check out your course, bro, because it's in depth.
That was the goal.
That was the goal. And you spent a lot of time on that, didn't you?
I spent probably 6 months.
Yeah.
From thinking of the ideas, planning it, recording everything.
Yeah.
And then when you make a course, it's kind of funny because you keep thinking of more and more ideas. So I think it was around like 6 hours, and I was like, oh, it's probably done. And I could have like released it. And then it just doubled in length because I just kept getting more ideas. So
in every video you were saying that, the course is coming, I'm like, is it going to be in the next video? You're going to announce it. And then for you just teased us for like 3
months,
4 months, just teasing like, not quite yet.
Well, that's secretly because I just kept adding more content, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to add even more here soon.
Yeah, that would be dope. But bro, look at that. We've just started talking about it. I haven't even got an opportunity for you to introduce yourself. So guys, forgive me. My bad. But Daniel, I just want to give you 20 seconds of an intro of who you are, how old you are, where you live, and any juicy details about yourself, bro. Over to you.
All right. Daniel Pronk. I'm another finance YouTuber. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Yeah, before YouTube, I was a real estate photographer. I owned my own business with my brother, started it, did that for 2 years. And then YouTube kind of just took over. It started making me more money, and I was more happy making videos. So now I'm doing this full time.
Bro, so I'm going to ask now. So investing, right? Stock investing. Yep. Were you like, Warren Buffett at the age of 11, you bought your first stock? Or how did you get into the whole stock investing journey?
Okay, so I started my business. And then through my business, I started making quite a bit more money. And then I started having this cash pile. Right. And I was like, what do I want to do with this? Like, I don't just really want cash sitting here. I want to learn how to invest. Like, I got started in the cannabis bubble early 2018. And the first stocks that I were buying were cannabis stocks. And,
Okay.
they would bounce around 30, 50% a day. And I was just like trying to buy and sell and
Yeah.
just total speculating. And then I ended up losing a ton of money doing that because like the hype in the cannabis industry left and I
Yeah.
was left holding the bag and I was like, oh no, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. And yeah, I lost 56% of my portfolio. Yeah.
Wait,
And
but
then
were you day trading then and not investing? Was that day trading,
I was
swing trading?
yeah, it was like swing trading at the beginning, but I didn't know that it was swing trading because I knew nothing about
Right.
stocks. Like I just set up a brokerage account and I was just like, oh, I can go buy this and it goes up tomorrow. So like that's what I thought investing actually was. And then
Okay.
I bought one and like I was planning on selling it, or actually I was planning on holding that one because I thought it was going to be great. But then it just slowly started tanking, man, and it was not coming back. And that taught me that was and like at that time, dude, I could not afford to lose that much money, so it stung pretty bad. And from that point on, that's when I learned how to actually invest. That's when I bought the Intelligent Investor, Philtown Rule 1, and I was like,
Yeah.
I actually want to learn how to do this because I cannot have that happen again.
So what, you saw potential in it then for you to actually go digging? Because most people, like when you get burnt like that, that's it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's game over. Let me try something else. What made you, after suffering such a huge loss, then want to seek more knowledge or education about it?
What's my saying? No failure is only lesson. Like a failure is only a failure when you decide it's not a lesson. So I
Yeah.
just took it as a massive lesson. And I
Nice.
just took everything I learned from that situation and I wanted to change it and fix it going forward. Because I want to
Okay.
be investing. I see the potential with investing and I didn't want to quit, man. I'm just not a quitter. I didn't want to quit.
So how did you know about investing? Like, were your friends doing it, family doing it? Because they don't teach this in school. Like, I don't know about
No.
Canada, but in the UK, they do not touch on investing. They call it speculating or gambling. It's almost it's got a negative connotation towards investing
Yep.
in normal schools. So, how did you know about investing and this was a path to go?
This is gonna sound funny, but it started through a day trader who he had an ad on Facebook and he was like, make money in the stock market. And I was like, cool. So I clicked on it. And then that's like, as soon as I figured out what the stock market was and that you could actually make money doing this, it was just a rabbit hole that I just went down, man. But no one in my family invests. I don't believe anyone else in my family my immediate family invests. None of my friends invest. So yeah, no one around me invests their money. It's seen just like the UK is like gambling, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, so can I make a guess as to who this person was? It's either one of two people for this advert that you saw. It was either Greg Secker or it was Timothy Sykes. One of
Timothy
those two.
Sykes. You nailed it, bro.
Oh my god, that guy spends millions on ads. Yeah, it's unreal.
It's ridiculous, bro. He is like everywhere.
Relentless. So we've
Yeah.
got Timothy Sykes to thank, to be honest.
Yeah, we do.
Well, from my experience, anyways, with long-term investing, you mentioned something about when you were started trading, it was very volatile, up and down, and
Mhm.
that I tried it, and that can really play with your emotions.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
talk me through that, bro. Talk me through that process for you.
Dude, I don't even know if you would call it managing. It was, dude, I remember specifically I was at a A&W. I don't know if you guys got A&W over there, but like a fast food joint.
All right, all right.
And I was on my phone and I was looking at the cannabis stock I was in that day. And I had no idea if I should be buying or selling. And I sat there for like an hour just like, bro, what do I do right now? I didn't know what the hell I was doing, bro. That was a few years. That was 2 years ago.
2 years
Yeah.
ago. Hey, bro, you've grown, man. You've grown now. You're bringing out spreadsheets, bro. Like, you know exactly what you're doing. And I want to get into that, actually, because you recently posted your portfolio performance,
Yes.
which, can't lie, I am jealous of. I mean, amazing, amazing returns. So before we actually even get into that, like that, I've got that later on. You've done a video on this. Can briefly explain your process for picking your stocks, because your returns was incredible. Really, congratulations for that, bro.
Thank you.
But what's your process then for, like, walk us through your process?
Yeah. So it's kind of, I have like a few different, but the one I've been trying to focus on more recently is trying to find issues in the world. Like not my most recent investment, because I just bought a stock, but the one before that,
Yeah.
it was a small water company that's heavily exposed to desalination, which is taking ocean water and turning it into fresh drinking water, because the 30-year trend on our current freshwater resources is not very good. And we're going to need more fresh water at some point. So that's going to be a huge issue in probably the next 15, 30 years. So investing in the solution early, I think, is going to be a great way to make some money. And that's kind of what I've been focusing on a little bit more right now. Other than that, I try to find industries that are growing, not industries that are shrinking right now, like coal, oil. And then I try to find the best company that I can possibly find in that industry. So that's like cannabis right now, electric vehicles, although, you know me, I don't really do electric vehicles too much.
You're not dabbling in the EV dimensions, bro.
The valuations are just too high for me. Like, I respect it. I love Tesla. I love all that stuff. Based on my own personal experiences, I don't want to get involved.
So you identify problems. That's your first step. You identify a problem.
Yep.
And then you find out what companies are solving that problem, essentially.
Yeah, and you profit off the solution.
I'm guessing with that strategy, you have to be involved with the world news, I guess, with what's going on.
Yeah, you really have to pay attention to what's going on in the world, where is the world going, and then just trying to, predict what industries are going to be big in the future. Like, I think solar is going to be huge one day.
Do you really think so?
I do think so. I think it's got its problems right now, but renewable energy, I think, is going to have to be the future.
Solar's been around for a while. It's almost like 3D printing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was in school, like they were saying solar's the next best thing and 3D printing, invest now. And it hasn't really, I'm not sure in Canada, but in the UK, it's not really taken off. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that then? You still think there's a runway for it, or?
I do believe so. And I think, like, I don't know who's going to win the presidential election or whatever in the States. And I'm a Canadian. I don't really care who wins, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if Joe Biden wins, he's got that $2 trillion plan he wants to introduce. That's just going to completely rechange the infrastructure in the US to more renewable. I think right now we are on the verge of seeing that industry finally gain some momentum.
But what about if Trump was to win? Do you think that will slow it down?
I think it would slow it down, but I think long term it's going to happen.
Recently, with my investing, I've been investing in the sexy stocks. You know
yes, you have.
I've been dabbling in the sexy stocks. I mean, I watched your water video on YouTube. I was like, it's water. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on.
I know.
I need some, like a Virgin Galactic, for example. I want to go to space. Like,
I know.
It made sense. Like, you really did hit the nail on the head in terms of the data.
I see it as an opportunity. Other people don't have to, but that's fine.
So would you say you're that type of investor then, that you don't really go with the hype anymore? You kind of just go with, okay. Yeah. 100%. You're nodding like, yeah.
100%, bro. I try to, like, man, I wish I could be buying Tesla right now. I love the company.
Yeah.
But at this valuation and with how much it's bouncing around, it's just not my style.
Yeah.
It's for other people, and I respect all the gains people are having. And, like, admittedly, I completely missed that opportunity, but it's a lesson, and I'm not going to hop in now.
So you think Tesla is at the top right now then? Or because obviously you've touched on Tesla before.
Yeah.
Now you did touch on the fact that they're not just EV.
Yeah.
They are involved in the solar industry as well, which you're saying is a booming industry.
Yep.
So then wouldn't it make sense to now get in now, since solar itself hasn't really taken off?
Like, that's a really good argument, but
gotcha.
I mean,
gotcha.
No, what is I've thought about this, because Tesla actually has really nice solar panels for the roofs.
Yeah.
But I mean, at a $400 billion valuation, man. And I mean, and then the argument to that is, well, look at the future potential of the company and fair again. But I think at this valuation, you're buying so much of that future profit. So it would just make me personally, as an investor, uncomfortable.
Okay, with the valuations. But then, again, people are arguing that you can't value Tesla as you would, a dividend stock or because of their growth in the industry that they're in. So PE ratios, I don't know how you feel about that. Do you think PE ratios still apply to a company that's so innovative, so transformational?
I don't think so. Like, I mean, I don't think
This
PE
is why I
ratios are going to
subscribe
do.
to your channel, bro. This is what I love about you, bro.
No, I don't think PE ratios mean anything with companies like Tesla. You got to look at where the company is going, and I mean, this very well could be a $1 trillion company in the future. I honestly would not even
Yeah,
doubt that at
yeah,
all.
yeah,
But it's just, when is that going to happen?
yeah.
And I don't know.
But I mean, you're young, you're right. You're young,
Yeah,
so you definitely you're going to be around for that. Because I mean,
yeah,
Apple obviously hit 2 trillion
yeah.
within less than how I think 20 years, or was it 25 years or 30 years? I'm not sure. So if by that metrics, you will be what, in your 50s, then it will pay off.
Yeah. No, dude, I wanted to buy Tesla in May of 2019 last year because that was my birthday, May 2nd. I was going to buy some shares and spoil myself.
Yeah,
But at that time, there was so much negative news around the stock. Like, people were just
yeah,
bashing the company. Like, it
yeah,
was in a massive dip. And like, I still didn't know too much about investing at that point.
yeah,
And that was the time to be buying Tesla right there.
yeah, yeah.
And if I did that, I would be up over 1,000%.
Yeah, I think that's Jeremy from Financial Education. He was
Yeah,
buying around that time.
he
'Cause,
was.
yeah, and he's that's a
Yeah.
huge weight of his portfolio right now.
Yeah.
So
If I was the investor I am today, a
yeah,
year ago, I
yeah,
would have been buying
all over
Tesla
that
in that dip
because I
for
think
sure.
it links with what you've said
Yeah.
about solving a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, it all links now, and it kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe electric vehicles are 100% the future, man.
yeah, yeah,
So, and I was thinking that a year ago, and Tesla was the company. I love Elon Musk. He is one of my personal heroes. I just I just chickened out, man, at the end of the day. I got scared by the news and it scared
by
me
the
away.
news. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I've got this quote on here. Very simple. It's just follow the facts. I got that
Yeah.
from Peter Lynch. I always I've got so many quotes, but that quote, follow the facts, really does. It helps in times of
Yeah.
insanity when stocks are going down. You're looking at the facts, you're looking at the business. Fundamentals haven't changed.
Mhm.
It's still solving the problem. So just follow the facts, ignore the noise.
Follow the facts. Don't get too caught up in what the media is trying to tell you,
Yeah.
because a lot of the time they may have an agenda or they may have a position.
Yeah, exactly. True.
So
So, what are your favorite sectors right now? Then, so we've established that water is is one of the is one of those sectors right now. What other sectors are you, if you got your eyes on, or are you invested in right now?
my biggest holdings are in renewable and solar.
I think with the renewable, you're in Brookfield, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
When did you get into Brookfield?
I initially bought them, I believe, in June,
All right.
and then they did a restructuring that actually benefited us Canadians. They made a new like spin-off, what is it, stock. So I rebought the stock. I sold all my US shares and I rebought the Canadian stock sometime in July. It's my second biggest holding. No, it's my biggest holding now.
What is your
It's,
biggest holding now?
yeah, July 30th. I bought about $15,000 worth, and that's up 57%.
Oh,
Yeah. So
you
I've made about
guilty.
8,500 on that one. So that's a really good stock for me. Yeah. Renewable utilities. It's a utility stock.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
it's
Water,
doing great.
utility. You're
But it's
also
doing
in gold. You're also in gold mining, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
Gold was at
got.
one point my largest position. So kind of a different investor, definitely.
But look, but your gains. I mean, we can't even argue with that. So let's talk about your gains then. So your
All right.
portfolio, I think you're up 30 something percent, right?
Yeah,
Evidently,
37.
it's working.
That's what I mean is like, I don't focus on, the hype,
Yeah,
what's hot, what's sexy. I'm proving that without even focusing on the hype and everything, you can still grow a portfolio very well. And
yeah.
that's kind of what Warren Buffett preaches, and that's kind of just what I'm trying to live out.
Is it hard though? Is it hard to not? Do you get what I'm saying? Get involved in the workhorses.
Yeah.
The what other ones are really hot one right now? The Helion. Pretty much
Neo.
EV. Like,
Yeah.
how do you stay disciplined?
Like cannabis, when I was involved in it, that was what was hot. Like if you go and if you go and look at the cannabis stocks in 2018, they were doing what these EV stocks are doing right now. Like that is just giving me like PTSD of the cannabis sector. So it's very tempting, bro. It's very tempting, but I don't want to burn myself again.
Wow. Wow. So that event right there is probably set you up for life then in terms of staying disciplined. That whole cannabis. Because I wasn't, I was trading at that time, 2018, but I
Okay.
wasn't trading MJ stock. It's not really massive here in the UK.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was aware it was booming, and now it's kind of dead and buried at the moment. But
Yeah.
is it making a comeback right now? Then,
It's well, what happened is like the industry was so high off hype.
yeah,
So like the valuations were ridiculous, which in my opinion is kind of what's going on in the EV sector right now. Like
yeah,
there are great EV companies, but like Nikola,
yeah,
like bro, I was gonna do a video on Nikola because you could see the fraud in the cash flow statement, and I saw it. And
right.
I was going to release a video, and then that short seller report came out exposing them.
Really? What before
Yeah.
the shorts? Oh wow!
I was gonna make a video, bro, and I could still make the video because in their cash flow statement, there is some sketchy things going on.
Talk to us about it. Like, what kind of stuff did you spot in the cash flow statement?
I believe it's stockholder compensation or share-based
Oh,
compensation.
stock-based compensation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stock-based
yeah,
compensation.
yeah.
Those CEOs, man, like the people running that company were taking millions from shareholders. So
Trevor.
they would dilute the company, just dilute all the shareholders, raise a ton of cash, and then that cash would flow through the business
Yeah.
straight to the owners. So it's like they're not using that money to grow the company. They may be using some of it, but a large portion was going straight to the management.
What's your thoughts on Nikola right now? Then the whole thing. I mean, obviously, it wasn't a surprise. You saw it in the cash flow statement, but
Yeah.
Trevor Milton, pretty much vanished. Yeah, he's not on social media anymore. He's not in the public light anymore. A lot. I know two investors that got burnt by Nikola. They bought in
Yes.
at 60s, 70s, and then sure enough, it dropped. It went from 60, dropped down to 40, and these guys are still holding on to their positions. They're like, oh, it's going to turn back. It's a dip. They eventually sold out in the 30s. Took a heavy loss. Obviously, General Motors, they did a deal with Nikola
Okay.
for the Nikola Badger, then surely, like, they would have seen the cash flow statements, right? Didn't they see the red flags? General Motors. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, going back to my cannabis investing, man,
Yeah,
I've learned that just because these are multi-billion-dollar companies doesn't mean that there can't be really dumb mistakes. I mean, I haven't looked into this whole deal that you're talking about here specifically, so
okay.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
I'm not going to rule out the possibility that maybe they overlooked something. And I mean, Nikola's story, their website was very convincing.
yeah, yeah.
So, and General Motors might be hurting right now. Maybe they want to get into the EV space, capture a little bit of that to help their business.
No, they're coming under fire at the moment. But the argument is, and I kind of agree with this argument, is that they wanted to get involved. They saw obviously
Yeah.
Tesla, they saw Neo, and Nikola was a big name at the time in the EV space, so they just wanted to attach their brand to Nikola to get some of the clout. So they were clout chasing, and eventually they got burnt as well.
Yeah, maybe trying to get their stock up. Maybe they want to dilute, raise some money right now. I have no idea.
It definitely did, but it was very short lived. Very short lived. It's crazy. This manipulation that goes on in the stock market. It's unbelievable.
Like, man, I'm looking at Nikola right now. This is still an $8.5 billion company.
How?
That makes me so uncomfortable. Just no revenue.
Yep.
Everything going on right now. Again, there's going to be winners in the EV, massive winners, but I don't know who's going to be the winner. Tesla for sure, but these other smaller companies, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
So I was going to say then, okay, Daniel. So you've established, obviously, you're a safe investor. You look for problems. You invest in those companies that solve those problems. Do you have any speculative positions?
I
and
do.
if so, what?
Sorry, I cut you off. I'm getting excited.
Yeah, talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
My biggest speculative position right now is Virgin Galactic.
Woo.
Yeah. But I mean, I only put about $2,000 into that stock, which is 2% of my portfolio now. It's not a huge speculative position, but yeah, I wanted to be exposed to the space industry. And that buy right there goes against everything I preach on my channel, by the way. So
yeah,
that was total speculation.
I think you're allowed, what Benjamin Graham said in Intelligent Investor, you're allowed a speculative position as long as you know what it is and you're prepared to lose money in it.
10% of your total portfolio, he says, should be dedicated toward, or not should, but can be dedicated towards
Yeah.
speculative positions.
Yeah.
Because it's fun,
Yeah.
and we all like to do it.
Absolutely.
So he says, if you want to do it, then do it right. Only use 10% of your portfolio and switch your get a dedicated speculative position account.
Okay.
Like a completely separate brokerage account, so that the two are separate and you don't confuse investing with speculating.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
So what's your thoughts on Virgin Galactic at the moment?
Honestly, man, this position is so small for me that I
You don't even focus.
I haven't even really been paying attention to the company. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't really know what's going on with them right now. And this is the point where I'm telling you, man, this is totally just speculating.
If it goes up, it goes up. One of those ones.
I'm just gonna hold it for 15 years, and
hopefully,
who knows what's gonna happen,
man. Who knows? Hopefully, because I have a position in Virgin Galactic. So hopefully with one of our shares, we can use it to actually get a flight. We'll get the same flight to space, and we'll just be chilling about this moment right here. Just be talking about that would be
That'd
epic.
Be so cool. That'd be so cool, man.
So one share will get us a ticket. My next question, right, is if you were to choose only one stock, right? So Warren Buffett talks about, if you were to have just one car the rest of your life, you would obviously treat it like a baby, take care of it and whatnot. So if you had the opportunity to just choose one stock, what would it be and why?
Man, that's such a hard question.
Yep. I'll give you a minute.
I'm looking at my portfolios right now.
If you had to consolidate everything and just put it all into one stock, what would it be and why?
Man,
it's a deep question. It's deep.
I think, honestly, because I'm a more safe investor, it would probably be Brookfield Renewable.
Really? Wow.
There's 3 in my portfolio right now that I really like. But Brookfield, if I just had to hold one stock, I wouldn't want to hold something too risky because, you got one shot. So I think I would stay with Brookfield. And they pay really good dividends. So,
they do pay good dividends, but don't you think in terms of that space, do they have that strong enough of a moat to literally put all your eggs into that basket?
That's what I mean, bro. This is hard.
It's a hard question.
But I think just based on my current holdings, I think that'd be the safest one with the best risk to reward that I'd be comfortable with. It may not be the one that's going to grow the most.
Yeah.
But it would be the one that I'd be most comfortable with.
Be able to sleep at night and then also enjoy the juicy dividends. What's the yield at the moment? What yield are they
currently?
Well, your yield on cost.
My yield on cost, I believe, was around 4%.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. The stock's run up 50+% since I bought it, so now the yield is at 2.58. So it's not as good.
Yeah.
But on my cost basis, it's 4%, just over.
It's not quite AT&T, but it's good. It's good.
Not quite AT&T, but it'll do.
Yeah. All right. So next question is, how do you balance investing, being a full-time YouTuber, and life in general? How are you finding that balance right now? Because obviously you're in a great space now in terms of working full-time in YouTube. You're doing what you love. It combines investing with your profession now. But then how do you, but I know obviously running a YouTube channel, it takes a lot in terms of the research, then the recording, then the editing, and then putting it up there, and then someone dislikes it for no reason. It's how do you balance all of that right now?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
It's I took that 2-week break just to recollect.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what my balance is yet. I'm still trying to find it. Right now I'm posting once every 3 days, and that seems to be working for me so far.
Yeah.
Because before I was just trying to post once a day, once every 2 days, and that was just too much.
Yeah.
I just burnt myself out, broke down. But so to be determined a little bit. It's hard. It's hard to find that balance. It's also hard because on YouTube, if you don't post videos, you see your channel start to go down and decline.
Yeah.
And it's you've been working for years, so I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah.
But you also got to balance your life. So it's hard, man.
So you're still working on that right now?
I'm still working on it. I'm trying to spend more time with, my girlfriend and do things I want to do and enjoy myself.
All right, Daniel. So in the next 5 years, okay, so project yourself to 2025. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see your portfolio? And where do you see your channel?
Yeah, so I'll be 30 by then. That's I kind of have this goal to be a millionaire by 30.
Okay, nice.
So that's always been the goal. But that goal has kind of shifted now to just be able to sustain my living expenses, my total lifestyle right now off dividends by 30. So yeah, by 30, I hope my portfolio is around 600,000 to $1 million.
Yeah.
And since my living expenses, I've got them so low, dividends on that account should pay for my full lifestyle, which is my goal.
Nice. That's amazing. That's the dream. Like for your dividends coming in to
Yeah.
just pay for everything. Like that is the true definition of residual income, financial freedom.
Exactly.
Because like YouTube, it is a job. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Let's call it what it is. It is a job. You mentioned it already. If you don't post videos, then you don't, the channel starts to die down. And I've noticed that as well because I still work in my business. I also contract and I do run a channel. So I do see when I don't post for a few days, the revenue drops. So it's not really residual. It is another job in a sense, but you work at your own time. So it's almost like you're self-employed.
Yeah, you're basically running another business that is YouTube. Yeah, as you grow your channel, I think we talked about you know, building courses and things. That really helps with the YouTube dips, man. Like so much.
Yeah.
Like that additional support is so awesome.
Now your course is dope, and I would recommend anyone definitely check out Daniel's course if you want to take investing seriously. But before we bounce, bro, one piece of advice: what would you give to a brand new investor? They've seen this Sunday stocks talk, and they're like, you know what? I like what Daniel said. By the time he's 30, he wants to live off dividends. I also want to do that. What piece of advice would you give them? One piece of advice before they start investing.
I would say take it slow and take your time. Learn and like be willing to make mistakes and don't let those mistakes deter you from your long-term goal because it's a journey. So you got to enjoy it. And yeah, take it slow. Don't go all in. Warren Buffett calls that jumping in with both feet. That's what I did. And I got burned.
Yeah.
So don't just throw your entire portfolio or your entire cash position into a stock because you like the story or something like that. It's probably not going to work out.
Oh.
And it didn't.
I feel.
Me. So yeah, and also read books. Just learn. When you're starting investing, you should just be learning.
Yeah. What book would you recommend? What one book would you recommend?
My absolute favorite book is The Intelligent Investor.
Oh, it's a hard read.
I know, but that's the thing is it's difficult to read. It's difficult to comprehend, especially when you're new. But that is, in my opinion, the best book. But to get to that point, you probably need to read Phil Town and Peter Lynch's book. Yeah, right there. Boom. Those two right there. Read those before The Intelligent Investor.
Bro, I got them on speed dial. Literally, I'm like, oh, bro, Peter, talk to me.
I know, right? Dude, I'm on my third read through of The Intelligent Investor right now.
I saw on the gram, I saw your Instagram, you're going through it again. I'm like, man, I need to go through one up on Wall Street again, man. Because I feel myself getting pulled away. I'm being sucked in by the whole hype. And it is exciting. I can't lie. They are exciting.
There's nothing wrong with it as long as you do it safely and you understand what you're doing.
The risks, yeah. Like I've got a few spec plays myself. I've got my dividend portfolio, but I'll be lying if I said I've touched that within the past month or so. Like that's left it. I just when I get the notification that dividends come in, I just reinvest it and leave it. But in terms of my speculation stocks, like I've been getting quite excited about those. Yeah. And it's like you said, it started off as like 5% of my portfolio. It's kind of like probably 12% now, and I'm like, oh, I need to kind of calm down.
Dude, even my speculative portfolio is around 13% now, and I gotta trim it back.
Exactly.
So it happens. It just creeps up on you.
With that said, right? So obviously the sexy stocks, they help when you talk about it as well, because everyone wants to know about them. Yep. So in terms of like YouTube content, now this isn't a question I haven't prepared for, but
that's fine.
Don't you feel like you need to talk about them to kind of get views? Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, I've kind of trapped myself in a corner on my channel.
Yeah.
Because my channel grew because I talk about Warren Buffett, value investing, not even really just value investing, just like proper investing principles, whatever.
Yeah, proper traditional. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I talk about growth stocks, like I've tried it before, and my audience is like dislike. This isn't why we
I'm
subscribe.
thinking like if I was to see you talk about Neo, for example, I would laugh my head off. It won't even fit. Like, what's Daniel doing talking about Neo? It wouldn't even feel right hearing it coming from you.
I know, man. I know. And like, that's what I mean is I kind of put myself in this area of YouTube where I can't talk about them, and it doesn't really affect me too much because I wouldn't even invest in them. Like, I'm not invested in that space right now. So
Yeah.
But I also kind of like it because I think when people want rational investing and they don't just want like all the growth hype, then I'm one of the channels that they can come to.
Exactly. Like, I remember when you took that time away, you know, I think I sent you a message saying, I need you back. I need some sense. I need someone to post a video that makes sense of all of this. I mean, but you were away, and I understood why, and it was great and everything, but I was just hearing so much hype stocks. I was like, I just need some sense, like some sensible stocks. Bring me some water. Do you know what I mean? So give me some renewable energy. Do you know what I mean? Something that actually makes sense as an investment long term.
Yeah, not just like, oh, they're coming out with this in a week, or
I know. Like, workhorse USPS contract is around the corner. Do you know what I mean? So your channel is definitely that go-to. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're like, okay, Daniel's uploaded a video. All right, let's settle down now. Do you know what I'm saying? So obviously, like you said, your channel blew up off that one video from Warren Buffett because he was a hot topic at the time. You know, he sold his Delta Airlines, which was madness at the time. So now, obviously, everything's going towards, you know, these hot growth stocks, these, you know, but that's not what you built your channel on. I would say, well, keep doing you, man. Do you know what I mean? Keep doing you. Like you said, your channel is the place of safety. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the place of safety and sensible investing. You know, so definitely don't compromise for nobody. Now, but Daniel, thank you so much for jumping on second episode of Stock Talk Sunday. I hope you enjoyed yourself, bro.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on, man. This was fun. It was good to finally talk to you in person too, not just Instagram messages.
We've migrated our relationship. You know, it's amazing. I feel so special. I feel warm and fuzzy inside. You know what I mean?
It's not just me.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for stopping by. And guys, I will link Daniel's channel in the link below. Also his course, definitely check it out. And like I said, if you want some sensible investing, you know, his channel is definitely the go-to. So please check Daniel Pronk out. Daniel, thank you so much for being on my channel. It's a pleasure. Like I said, channel wouldn't exist if it wasn't for you. So thank you for your input and your guidance. Really appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you too, man. Thanks for having me on. It was fun, dude. I'm down to do it again anytime.
Let's do this. Episode 2, part 2 loaded.
Let's go.